My worker looked down on me, not knowing I was his boss. I own a franchise that my family started when I was younger. I was the only one who wanted to take over the family business, so my father ended up giving it to me. My father gave me 2 restaurants before he passed away, and currently I have 12 restaurants. I hired my family members, including my nephews and my kids, to manage my stores so they can learn to expand the family business when I'm gone. I never forced them to manage my restaurants, but I showed them my wealth when they were teenagers, and explained that if they wanted the lifestyle and comfort I had, I was giving them the opportunity to achieve it. All of them understood that if they wanted to have a piece of my restaurants, they had to learn how to be entrepreneurs and run a business. My oldest son, 30, manages 4 stores. My daughter, 28, owns 3 stores. My youngest, 24, 2 stores. And my nephew, 26, 3 stores. I'm proud of what they've accomplished, and I feel very confident that my hard work will be taken care of when I'm no longer here. Every now and then, I like to visit one of my restaurants randomly to ensure that everything is up to their standards and running correctly. I'm a simple guy and have no interest in buying expensive clothes to impress others. My family even says that if they didn't know me, I'd fit in with the homeless people. I opened the door and waited in the lobby with 3 other people who had families. All of them, except me, were taken care of and seated within the next 5 minutes. I waited, and one waitress looked at me and continued walking, grinning. Next thing you know, another waitress walked past me and ignored me. By now, 2 families had come in, and both waitresses seated them. At this point, I was shocked and completely speechless about what I was witnessing, especially since my restaurants are known for having excellent customer service. I got tired and decided to go up and ask the same waitress if I could be seated. Her smile faded away, and she gave me an annoyed look when I stopped her after saying, "Excuse me." I apologized and asked when I would be seated, because I had been waiting patiently for more than 45 minutes. The waitress, still annoyed, looked at me and told me to wait patiently while someone would come to seat me. 5 minutes later, another family came in and asked to be seated, and the same waitress immediately took them to an empty table. At this point, I knew she was judging me based on my appearance, and I was getting frustrated. I decided I didn't want to waste any more time and left the restaurant 10 minutes later. I left fuming with anger, never having felt so disrespected in my life. I decided to come back 30 minutes before closing, around the time my son usually returns to the store to do paperwork. When I walked in, the first thing I saw was the same waitress in the lobby. She saw me and gave me the biggest side eye, full of attitude. She scoffed and said, "You again? Didn't you get the hint the first time?" Again, I was shocked and said, "Excuse me? Do you not know how to treat people with respect?" She looked even more annoyed and said, "Listen, old man, we're about to close, and this restaurant doesn't serve, people who dress like you." I was completely speechless and angry to the point where I even started getting mad at my son for hiring this girl. I had had enough. Just as I was about to start yelling, my son walked by and said, "Dad, what are you doing here?" I looked at him angrily and said, "Who the hell is this girl, and how the hell did you manage to hire someone so disrespectful?" My son, already looking worried, tried to calm me down and then turned to the waitress. In a quiet, serious tone, my son looked at her and said, "My office, now." I had some time to calm myself down, and as I walked into my son's office, I looked at the waitress and said, "I want your friend here too." I hadn't forgotten about the other waitress who also ignored me when I first sat down. My son, sitting quietly, then spoke. "Do you realize that this man is my father, the one who owns all 12 of the restaurants in this city?" Both waitresses were silent until they started apologizing. I cut them off mid-sentence and said, "Save it, because